Hello, everyone. I'm Coach Franny, and welcome to Christian Couples Couch. Okay, so today I want to talk about the Oscars yesterday. The whole Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Chris Rock situation. I have to talk about this because it's just been on my mind. I just can't stop thinking about it. And I just want to give my perspective, how I feel about it. And you may agree or you may not agree, but I think what we saw yesterday was a lot deeper than just what we saw. I believe it really runs deeper. But I want to talk about, first, let's start with Will Smith, since that's kind of probably be most of what I'm talking about, because I'm going to talk about Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and Chris Rock, okay? Will Smith, there has been anyone with eyes and ears that pays attention can tell that Will Smith he's been going through some things over the past couple of years, right? And his marriage is one part of it. People have really been coming at him and making fun of him, dealing with his marriage and everything. Granted, his wife did put him in that position for people to be able to make fun of him. However, whatever is happening in their marriage, that is their business. I do not agree with, nor do I condone infidelity. I don't agree with infidelity. I don't condone infidelity. But with that being said, that is a personal matter between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. And so they're still together. That's all we need to know, is that they're still together. So apparently he was okay with whatever happened. Even if he wasn't okay, they dealt with it behind closed doors in their marriage. And he showed up to the Oscars with his wife. He's been showing up with his wife. He has never stopped showing up with his wife. Okay? And so we need to receive that. They're together. They're married. I mean, I don't quite know how they view marriage, but that's their business. That's his wife, and she was there with him at the Oscars. Okay. He's had to take a lot of heat, about the way that things came out, and then he had to take heat when Jada tried to Jada kind of tried to clear it up on the Red Table Talk about the whole August Alsina situation, the entanglement. So he's been receiving a lot of people have had, things to say, have had opinions about him and his marriage. And he's been looked at as being soft, or, his wife walking all over him, when we don't really know what's going on in their marriage. So it very well could be the complete opposite. And let me say this, I have never once ever in my entire life thought that Will Smith was soft, ever. I have never thought that. And anyone who thinks that, I think it says more about you than it does him. Because what has he ever given us to make us think he was soft? Like, what has he done? Okay, the situation with August Alsina, he clearly already knew about that, guys. We learned he already knew. It wasn't like, oh, he just found out that his wife was having an affair. He knew what was going on. Okay, and Will Smith probably was doing his own thing also. Do I agree with that? No, but that's their marriage. So, he has never done he hasn't given me anything for me to think that he's soft, but for some reason everybody thinks that he is. And let me tell you something. What we witnessed yesterday was a man at his breaking point. Okay, leading up to this, Will and Jada were on the red carpet, and they were asked about the entanglement. That was last month, a few weeks ago. They were asked about the entanglement, okay? And they were clearly uncomfortable with the question, okay? Then a couple of weeks ago, Will Smith did an interview with Gayle King, and he was the the infidelity word came up. And Will's exact words, well, I can't say his exact words, I'm going to paraphrase. But he said, there has never been infidelity in my marriage. Nothing has ever happened that I was not aware of. That was our cue to get out of their business. When he said that, that he was telling the world, what Jada did, I was aware of. I'm still with her. So, with that being said, this is all leading up to the Oscars, okay? So now here we are at the Oscars yesterday. He's there sitting with Jada Pinkett. She has on her green dress. Her hair is shaved. And she has been very public about why she shaved her hair. Because she suffers from alopecia. And a lot of people suffer from alopecia. And if you suffer from alopecia, then you understand, as a man or as a woman, if you suffer with alopecia, you understand how insecure you would be about your hair, especially as a woman. Because, a lot of times when we're brought up, especially, Black girls, when we're growing up, it's like our hair is our crown and glory, And so having to cut it off for any reason, alopecia, having alopecia and losing your hair, or having cancer and having to shave your hair, like, it's a very sensitive topic. And so I don't know how Jada feels about it. I don't know if she cries at night about her hair loss. Maybe she doesn't think she's beautiful anymore, because once upon a time, Jada Pinkett was considered one of the most beautiful women, in America. And so I don't know how she feels when she's at home with Will. I don't know how many times Will Smith has had to comfort her, when she talks about her hair or whatever. But as he sat there, and Chris Rock made this joke. Now, this is not the first time that Chris Rock has made a joke about Jada Pinkett. In 2016, when he hosted the Academy Awards, he also made a joke about Jada Pinkett, like, not being invited to the Oscars. So who cares if she boycotts the Oscars, right? So there's a history. And let me tell you something. When a man is disrespectful to another man's wife, they don't forget that, okay? They don't forget that. That's automatic beef. They automatically have beef. Like, you humiliated my wife, because I remember people were tweeting about Jada, making fun of Jada and all of that because of what Chris Rock said. And Chris Rock, he is a comedian. Chris Rock is my favorite comedian. Chris Rock has always been my favorite comedian. I love Chris Rock. I think he is hilarious. A lot of people don't like, his style of comedy, but I do. I love it. I think he's absolutely hilarious. I have watched all of his stand-up show. I've watched all of his movies. I'm a big Chris Rock fan. I love his comedy. He's hilarious. With that being said, I think it's a fine line, with comedy and having emotional intelligence, because Chris Rock's aware of everything that's happened with Will and Jada. He's aware. And he knows that he kind of kickstarted it, honestly, back in 2016. He's aware. And I just think that he shouldn't have used emotional intelligence, and he shouldn't have went there. Now, when he made the joke, I said to my husband, my husband was in the other room. I told my husband, I said, he probably thought that was a light joke. He probably thought it was a light joke. Saying that, she shaved her hair. But when someone's dealing with a medical issue, they don't take it lightly, because you don't really know the pain. You don't really know how they feel about that. Now, G.I. Jane, I don't know if everyone has seen, the movie G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane was a tough, bad chick, okay? She was tough, okay? And so he was saying that because Jada's hair is shaved bald, and the character that I believe was Demi Moore played in G.I. Jane, her hair is shaven. But she also wore, like, fatigues, like, and things like that. So maybe There's something with, you know, the fact that that Jada had on a green dress and her hair was shaven. But G.I. Jane's she was a tough woman. She was strong. She was, you know, and so we can say how we would have taken something, but like I said, we don't know the pain behind, you know, the alopecia that Jada's going through. So she didn't find it funny. And it's coming from a guy who has already made fun of her before. So there's a history there. So as Will sits there and he laughed initially. But I don't think he laughed because he thought it was funny. I think it was just like a natural, you know, a comedian tells a joke, it's just, oh, I'm supposed to laugh. I can't tell you how many times I've been to a comedy show and I was just like, and it wasn't really that funny. But when he saw Jada roll her eyes, it was like, nah, this is it. Will was fed up. What we saw was him have a mental breakdown. And he was like, done. He was done. He was like, people gonna put some respect on my name. They're gonna put some respect on my wife's name. My job is to protect my wife. I'm not gonna let this happen. You're gonna have some repercussions for what you did to my wife. I don't care where we are. Like, and that's what he did. Will Smith got up and he walked up to Chris Rock. Now, this is where Jada comes in. Listen, I don't condone what Will Smith did. I do understand why he did it. But guess what? We wouldn't even be talking about this right now. It wouldn't be all over the blogs right now. If Jada Pinkett would have grabbed her man by the hand and stopped him from getting up to go approach Chris Rock, what did you think he was getting up to go do, Jada? You were okay with that? You know that your husband, there's a very, very good chance he's going to win this Oscar tonight. And you're going to let him jeopardize this night, his night, because of a joke that Chris Rock just made that really, honestly, it wasn't funny. That particular joke wasn't funny, honestly. And like I said, G.I. Jane was she's a tough woman. So granted the hair part, I get it. And even in your pain, Jada, you were supposed to grab your husband by the hand and say, no, baby, not right now. Maybe later, but not right now. That was her job. My husband is my protector also. Listen, when you really love your husband and your husband really loves you, a man who really loves a woman, there's nothing he won't do for her. And that includes protecting her and providing for her. But if that man loves you, you should love him enough to not let him hurt himself. To not let him put himself in a position to humiliate himself. To love him enough to say, you love me enough to protect me. You love me enough to protect me. But I love you enough to protect you, to stop you from doing something. Okay? It's just like if you're out at a store as a woman and a man says something disrespectful to you and your husband's there. Your husband's going to be like, hold on, who you think you're talking to? And then if the other man kind of get a little yappy back, they could go to blows. But as a woman, do you really let that happen? If a man calls you out of your name or they do something or say something disrespectful to you and your husband's there, the first thing that a real woman thinks is, let me stop my husband. You may be offended by whatever he said, but the offense that you have to whatever that man said does not overshadow the fact that you need to protect your husband and stop him from doing something that can later hurt him in the long run, i.e. going to jail, or i.e. getting shot and killed, or i.e. him hurting that person severely and having a record, losing his job, losing everything. Like our man's job is to protect us, but our job is to protect them also. She could have grabbed Will by the hand and said, no, baby, don't go up there. It's okay. It's okay. And if she really, really hurt about it, like, it's okay. We'll handle him later. We'll see. We'll catch him at an after party. We'll catch him backstage. I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying if it was so bad, it still could have been handled and dealt with, but not there, not like that. Will could have went to jail last night. Could you imagine the highest moment of your life? You winning an Oscar, a well-deserved Oscar, by the way. You winning an Oscar and that same night getting criminal charges pressed against you and you going to jail. None of that went across Jada's mind when her husband stood up. And then she had more than one opportunity to stop her husband. I'm not saying she is responsible for what he did, but what I am saying is, as a wife, she could have stopped him. And I stand on that. Because any woman watching this right now, I'm pretty sure you've been in a situation where someone has disrespected you. And your husband has said, oh, hold on, wait a minute now. And you say, baby, it's okay. It's all right, baby. Don't worry about it. That's called you protecting him. Okay? And so when Will came back to his seat, because at this time, everyone thinks that this is part of the show, even though it was a pretty hard hit. Everyone's laughing. Everyone laughed after he slap punched Chris Rock. Everyone laughed. No one knew it was real until Will Smith started yelling out, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth." That was when everybody was like, oh, hold on. And he got louder the second time he said it. Jada had the time then to say, no, baby, no, no, no. When he walked back, she should have said, baby, no, 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 no. She could have stopped that, and she didn't. I'm going to tell you something else that's bothering me about Jada Pinkett. If you have Instagram, go to her Instagram page. Look at her last 2 videos, photos that she posted, which was yesterday, the day of the Grammys. Both of the pictures and videos is of her. Not one picture with her husband, who is the one being nominated for an Oscar. Not one photo with her husband after winning the Oscar. Now, you had time to post your dress and all the video coming up her leg and showing off her dress and all this, and then photos of her husband's biggest night. Does this make sense to y'all? Because it doesn't make sense to me. If this is the night where my husband's being nominated for an Oscar that he's very well may win, my photos are gonna be of me and my husband. I might have a couple of just me, but he's gonna be in the most of the photos in the videos. It's not gonna only be me. Now, you go to Will Smith's page. Go to his Instagram page. His Instagram page is him and Jada with the green screen in the back and them walking toward each other. She has on her green dress and they're walking toward each other on his night. He posted a video of him and his wife. On his night, she posted videos and photos of herself. This, to me, seems like a man who loves and respects his wife more than she loves and respects her husband. And it's been seeming this way to me for a very long time. Let us not forget that Jada Pinkett actually allowed these words to come out of her mouth. She actually said she cried on her wedding night, her wedding day. Not because she was happy to get married, but because she did not want to. She married Will Smith because she was pregnant and it would ruin his image. I mean, he loved her. He wanted to marry her, but she did not marry him for love. She said she cried. Go look up the video, guys. I tell no lies. She actually said that. And even if she felt that, I can't believe she actually said that. Like, did she think how that would make him feel? Knowing that, wow, my wife was crying, not tears of joy, but tears of sadness when she made a commitment to marry me and to love me and to honor me. That's pretty hurtful. I feel like Will Smith made a complete fool of himself last night for a woman who did not even deserve it. I'm sorry. I feel like if we're talking about marriage in general, he defended his wife. And I get it. I understand, because that's what a man is supposed to do. I think he should have waited until after the show and did so. He could have approached him and it could have just been a rumor. Like, you know how a lot of times we hear rumors about things that happen in Hollywood. We don't know if it's true or not. We might find out 20 years later that it was true or not. It is not our business. I feel like it could have been one of those type of situations. He could have confronted Chris Rock, you know, and punched him or whatever he wanted to do. afterwards to where it wouldn't affect everyone else, because now that's all we're talking about is Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars, when there were so many other big moments. There were so many other big moments like Questlove. Like, no one's talking about that. And so I feel like he made himself feel like a fool. He made himself look like a fool for someone who did not deserve it. She didn't. I have no problem with a man making himself look like a fool for the woman he loves when she loves him back. You take that on the chin, like, you know, dang, I messed up. But again, like I said, it could have been done in a different way. I don't think it should have been done the way it was done. Because I don't think Will Smith's career will ever be the same. I think Will Smith's career as we know it is done. I think he's gonna do movies and things, you know, as the years go by. But I don't think it would be on the level that we're used to seeing him do movies. I don't think it would be on that level. And I think he might be on ice for a while. He might be on ice for a while. And now he has opened it up for so much judgment. I think Will Smith is an incredible man. I really do. I think he married wrong. I do. I don't think that's the woman that God had for him. I don't. And I think people do this. You know, they're smitten by someone. And, you know, at that time when, you know, Will and Jada got together, you know, she was also a celebrity and she had street credibility. And, you know, Will never really had street credibility, even though I don't know why he didn't. He's from West Philly, you know, and everything. You know, he didn't used to cuss in his music and stuff, like use profanity in his music and things like that. I just think that just showed how intelligent he was. And I think he said that he didn't use profanity in his music out of respect for his grandmother, and which is even more honorable. But you don't have to be, you know, from the streets and stuff like that to be tough. Like, who says, like, where does this false narrative come from? Like, a man is a man. And I've never viewed Will Smith as soft. I never have. I think Will Smith needs therapy. He recently wrote a book. I don't know if anyone has read his book, but he opens up about a lot of things in that book. And Will Smith has been battling depression and stuff for a while now. And I think it's just yesterday he had reached his limit, and it just all came out. And it came out in the wrong way, the wrong place. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when we don't get the help that we need for our issues. When we don't receive marital counseling, when we don't receive therapy for ourselves and personal development and things like that to help us to be better to deal with the trauma and different things that we've experienced, eventually it boils over and you're sitting there like, what did I just do? He's human. He's human. I mean, I don't view Will Smith any different. I don't view Chris Rock any different. Chris Rock, he did not use emotional intelligence. I don't know if he was aware that Jada Pinkett had alopecia, but he was aware that he had made jokes about her before. He shouldn't have touched it. It was very tacky. I didn't like it. Now, what I will say is I really do like the way that Chris Rock handled himself. He was very professional. He could have hit Will Smith back and they could have been fighting. We could have had two black men, two high esteemed, respected black men who we all love fighting at the Oscars. Like, that would have been crazy. He could have, and he would have been within his right to hit Will Smith back because Will Smith assaulted him. He very well could have hit him back, and that would have been horrible. So, I mean, I give it to him. He continued to do his job, and he did it well. But, and he could have pressed charges, and he did not. And I was thinking to myself, does Chris Rock owe Will Smith an apology? No, he doesn't. When he didn't press charges, that was his apology. That was his, all right, man. Okay, I hurt you. I see that. Because he could have pressed charges, and he didn't. Does Will Smith owe Chris Rock an apology? No, I think if he felt he did, he would have did it last night. He apologized to the other nominees and to the Academy. He did not apologize to Chris Rock. At the end of the day, Chris Rock, like I said, he had been poking the bear for a while. People have to stop poking the bear. You can't poke the bear and then get mad when the bear attacks you. Right? You can't. That's just how it works sometimes. It's unfortunate. Again, I don't condone violence. But I'm just saying, like, you cannot disrespect a man's wife in front of that man and think that there aren't going to be any consequences. Chris Rock very well may not have viewed it as disrespect. He could have viewed it as it's just a joke. And he even said it's a light joke. And I mean, it was coming from him, but this is very important too. Chris Rock. I love Chris Rock. I love Will Smith too, but I love both of these men. And I just hate that this is happening. But Chris Rock did a documentary years ago on Black women and their hair. And he said that he did this documentary. He was motivated to do this documentary because he has daughters who have 4C hair. And he saw their struggles with their hair and stuff, and how, you know, it can affect, you know, Black women and things like that. And so it kind of intrigued him to do more research and learn more about Black women in their hair. And so he got all of these celebrity, you know, Black women, like I think Nia Long, she was one of them. I remember. I haven't watched the documentary in many, many years, but I do remember Nia Long was on that documentary. But they were talking about weaves and, you know, natural hair and things like that. And so as a Black man, he was able to see, like, wow, okay, this is how Black women feel about their hair. Wow, I had no idea some of the challenges that they experience and how, you know, how and the different things that they go through dealing with their hair. And, you know, seeing what my daughters, having Black daughters, you know, and seeing what they're going through. And now I'm talking to these other women in Hollywood and seeing how what they've been through dealing with their hair. He was educated. Chris Rock educated himself on Black women and their hair. And then on one of the biggest platforms, he took a shot at a Black woman regarding her hair. So even if he didn't know about the alopecia, he shouldn't have made a joke about the hair. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have made a joke about the hair, even if he didn't know about the alopecia. And so, you know, it's an unfortunate situation. Like I said, everybody was wrong in this. Will Smith was wrong, Jada Pinkett was wrong, and Chris Rock was wrong. And I explained why I felt all three of them were wrong. Chris Rock was insensitive. It was a bad joke, first of all. And him being educated on Black women and their hair, he should never make that joke. And shame on him if he did know she had alopecia, and him knowing about Black women and their hair and still making the joke. Okay? And shame on him for even making a joke on that night, knowing that Will was nominated, especially after what he did in 2016. And knowing all the things going on with their marital issues that has been made public lately over the past, 2 years. He had knowledge of those things and he still made the joke. Yes, he is a comedian. His job is to make us laugh. It wasn't a funny joke though. So you failed at that anyway. Okay? And again, G.I. Jane to me represents strength. Okay? Young people, if you haven't seen the movie, see the movie. It came out in like 97, but it's a great movie. But nevertheless, he did not mean it in a way like, oh, you're strong. He meant it in a very condescending, mean way. He was trying to be funny. He was making a joke. So he was wrong for all those reasons. Will Smith was wrong because he let his temper get the best of him. He literally exploded. All the things he's been holding in, and he's been releasing in little ways. You know, if you follow him on social media and stuff, he's been releasing it in little ways. He wrote his book that's very therapeutic, and I commend him for that. He let a lot of things out, but he's been, like I stated earlier, he's been recently dealing with a lot of things dealing with his marriage. He just recently did the Gayle King interview where she brought up the infidelity. He was on the red carpet where one of the reporters brought up the entanglement. So he's been dealing with things. And then I'm sure he already had beef with Chris Rock from 2016 with what Chris Rock said. So it was just, it boiled over and that's what happened. He was wrong. And Jada, you were wrong because you should not have let that man get up out that seat. You should have grabbed your husband. I mean, what did you think he was getting up to go do? Hug him? I mean, what did you think? What did you think? Ladies, we know our husbands. Jada knows Will better than we do. Most of y'all think Will is soft anyway. I don't. I never have. But I tell you who knows he's not soft. Jada knows that. Jada knows he's not soft. He's not Tupac, but baby, she know he's not soft. She wouldn't have married him if she thought he was. That man's not soft. What did she think he was getting up to go do? He wasn't going to get up to go hug him. It wasn't going to be anything nice that he was getting up to do. Did any of us expect him to go slap Chris Rock when he got up when we were watching? No. We thought it was, we was like, is this scripted? Hold on, what's going on right now? Wait, ooh, that slap was pretty hard. That couldn't have been scripted. Oh, now he's cussing and yelling out in the audience. So regardless, she knew he wasn't getting up to go do anything nice. She knew that, and she let him get up. And even when he returned to his seat, and she could have stopped him from yelling, stop, baby, stop, no. Let's handle this a different way, a different time. This is not it. This is your night. And then, like I said, her making those posts that she made on Instagram of herself on his night. Does that make sense? I mean, just think about this. Like, think about if your husband is about to graduate from med school and you're going to his graduation and this is graduation night and someone goes to your social media page and all they see the night of your husband's graduation from med school is photos of you. He's not in any of them. You don't say, I'm so proud of my husband. He's been working so hard. Like, I mean, just think about that. His night, and the only thing you post is videos and photos of you. Yet on his page, there's a video of the two of you. Make it make sense. That woman is not in love with that man. And I don't think she ever has been. And I really want Will Smith to be happy. And I think he should be happy. And that's not the woman that God gave him. That's the woman that he chose. That's the woman that he chose. It's not the woman that God led him to choose. Okay? Because all of his humiliation, all of this, his embarrassment in his career has all stemmed from one person, Jada Pinkett Smith. He's always been esteemed and respected. And then he became a joke. Will Smith became a joke. The man who was the first rapper to win a Grammy was viewed as a joke. Everything has stemmed from his wife. The person you marry can make or break you. Marry wisely. Make sure you're led by the Holy Spirit with who you choose to be your spouse. Make sure that is a God-ordained marriage and that you just didn't pick somebody because they were attractive or because they would help your image or because, you just thought they were so beautiful and you were just lost in, like, it's been rumors for years about things regarding their marriage, that they had an open marriage and Jada was into Scientology and all this stuff like that. I'm like, they don't discipline their children. It's just been things going on for years. And I'm sorry, but everybody was wrong in this situation. But the person who took the biggest L was Will. That's all I got. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Be nice, though. Because if you say something, you can disagree with me, but respectfully. I'm not going to do you like Will did Chris, but I'm just saying, be respectful or your comment will be deleted, okay? Because I don't go back and forth with people. I don't do it, okay? All right, so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are at a point in your life where you are at a breaking point, because you get to that breaking point, there's no telling what you might do. If you need someone to talk to, if you need counseling, I can help you. Go to my Instagram, Coach Franny Williams, or you can drop down in the comment section if you want to be, you don't want people to know. Just go to my Instagram, send me a message, book a session, because you can lose everything you worked your whole life for in one moment, one bad decision, all because you did not deal with what was going on in here. And it affected everything going on out here. And I don't want that to happen. And if you're married to somebody like Jada Pinkett, you should book a session with me also. I'm serious. Because, baby, woo, I'm telling you, it can cause you a lot of misery. Marrying the wrong person can cause you misery. Do you hear me? And life is too short to be miserable. Bye.